Dear friends, here we meet again. I do believe this is Lucid Baba Khanya's Your Motivation pages, programs, Arshak on Mysticism section. This session or meeting is about lucid dreamings. Lucid dreamings. It sounded strange when I first heard about it, but it happened 2-3 times to me. So it was very, very strange. It was midnight, past midnight, 3:30 or something like that. I just opened my eyes for no reason. And I saw myself in the middle of a pretty beautiful, it wasn't jungle, but something like that. Trees, wilderness, and there was a body of water over there, like a lake or something, but it was a dirty one. It wasn't blue water, it was muddy. Not dirty, but muddy. So I slapped myself to see if I'm wide awake or is this sleep or am I dead or something? And I sat on my bed looking all around me. And I don't see anything belonging to my bedroom. It's all natural trees, this and that. And the ray of the sun is hitting down. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And on the floor, dried leaves. I wanted to walk towards the water. Now, I really knew that on my right side, I had my musical instruments, electronics, the saxophone, this, that, on my right side. But there is nothing there. But I don't want to bump to any equipment. But there's nothing there, just wilderness. So I started walking, and I always had a hard time walking on ground barefoot. This was more difficult because there were dried leaves and stuff like that. And I started walking towards the water. There I heard a sound, the very same sound, almost like fatherly sound, saying, what you want, what you want to do. And I don't know why, I wanted to trick him, whoever that was. I said, I want to go underneath the water. In an instant, I was underneath the water. It was so muddy. It was kind of little darker, but the sun's rays were coming down still. And I went down and down. I reached to the bottom of the so-called lake, muddy lake. He said, what else do you want? To feel safe, because I was thinking. I was fully aware. I said, I want a cross. And in an instant, there was a big gold cross on the bottom of the water. And the voice said, "What else you want?" Again, I wanted to make it difficult for him. I said, "I want a dog." Because in all religions that I know of, you cannot put dog next to a so-called holy object. At the same moment, they put a doggy there, very, very small, like an orange or something, size of it. It was pure white, beautiful, with long hair on the forehead coming down, with very beautiful black beady eyes. I said, what a beautiful animal they created. And I felt they were telling me they are more smart than I am. I said, oh, okay, because no one would reject a small doggy like that. No one. It was so beautiful. That was my first experience. Couple days later, same thing happened. I opened my eyes. This was a very short happening. In the front, on the front wall, I saw a black horse. Only the bust of it, only the chest. Running, and not moving, just running. And it was so clear. I could see the long hair of the horse and moving. It's so beautiful. And I was clearly seeing the sweat coming out of his body and dripping. So beautiful. But in a distance, there was a sun. But not the kind of sun we have here on this planet. It was amazingly beautiful color. So I've been in coloring business in print shop, color printing, this, that. I have never ever seen any color like that on this planet. I was so deeply interested in that color rather than the horse. I kept looking to the sun, trying to figure out what kind of color is this, and I couldn't. I had never ever seen a color like that. So it was so beautiful, but it was very short, and suddenly it faded away. So that was my personal experience in this regard. So thank you very much for joining us. One day, if I have the chance, I'll talk to you about the talismanic parts of the magic. The talisman, in Arabic they call it talism, in Armenian they call it mehenagir, the writings, the letters of the temples, because only special people used to write with that letters. And if I have the chance and the opportunity, I'll talk about that to you. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you.